Yeah. What's up? What's good? What's popping? What's cracking? What's percolating? It is your man Theo Butler, and welcome to another exciting episode of I Ain't Saying, I'm Just Saying with the Rock With Me Nation. Yeah. Before we begin, like, share, subscribe. You like, leave a comment. You don't like, leave a constructive comment. And this would be one of our few times we talk college football. Y'all know I'm a huge college football fan. We don't really make that a point of emphasis on the channel. But when stories pop up that grab our attention, we will make it do what it do. That said, shout out to my brother, Daryl. He had an interesting question, comment in regards to what's been going on with the college football playoffs and everything like that. Great question. I thought it was, and quite a few people gave their take. It is with his Facebook post, and the comments that folks left on said post, which motivated me, and we got my brother, he on the way, he can make it, motivated me to do a live today in regards to it. So y'all go ahead and pull on up. What's going on, Big Javon? What's going on? We in the building. Y'all go ahead and pull on up, and we gonna make it do what it do. First of all, Happy New Year to you. If we have not chopped it up, Happy New Year to you. I hope your new year has gotten off to a great start. Where we are, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Daughter is visiting dad for the holidays and everything like that. So we definitely have it going on. If you are subscribed to the channel, hoping that you are, tomorrow, my daughter, her mother, not to be confused with my wife, her mother and I will be debuting a brand new segment on the channel called Co-Parenting One-on-One. So make sure you got your notifications on and everything like that. We're going to make it do what it do in regards to that. That's it, though, because that ain't the topic of the conversation. No! The topic of the conversation is what in the John Blue Blazers is going on. All the teams that had first-round byes lost. You need me to say that one more time? What's going on? Kamoyo, what's going on? All the teams that had first-round byes lost. That includes my Georgia Bulldogs. Now, unlike some folks who are social media influencers, I don't necessarily get my jollies off of another team losing. I ain't play you. I ain't thinking about you. There are some Alabama social media influencers who they live, even though they Alabama fans, you know what I'm talking about if you watch them. They live, sleep, eat Alabama. You can't tell because they can't keep Georgia out their mouth. Figuratively and literally. There's my brother right there. Let's go ahead and bring him on. Hold on, let me do this right. Bam.
What's that?
There you go. There you go. Y'all see it?
What's that? What's going on? Yeah.
Y'all see
it? Making it do what it do this afternoon. Y'all say it gets nasty. All right. I ain't know if I went overboard or anything like that. But yeah, I got some nice clothes in the closet. They just in the closet.
What I tell you, we grown over here. We not gonna keep dressing like that. No, we did that. We not gonna do that no more.
Oh, okay.
We finna start dressing our age.
Hey, some days you gotta be comfortable, and I like being comfortable. And okay, I understand we gotta try to cater to a different demographic, but you know we see what happens. We see what happens.
Yeah. We gotta separate ourselves from everybody else. Clearly.
Clearly, we gotta separate ourselves from everybody else because we seem to be a source. You know what I'm saying? Like when a vampire, a leech, or something latch on and just be sucking, and I'm just like, goodness gracious.
Y'all, I'm trying, but me, my brother D-Real and Kamoyo, we be having conversations off the book and everything like that. And I'm just gonna say, we managed to keep each other entertained. So I do apologize for us. It's gonna be some silly moments. This is Saturday. Piggybacking off of Friday. So we still low-key Friday night vibing.
I'm gonna go ahead and vibe.
You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna try and get this because my brother got his whole self in the camera. I want to I want my swag to match his swag. So I want to have more of me in the camera too.
Yes.
I want to have. There we go.
Let's get it going. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, baby.
Come on, somebody. We got the honorable my elder. Let me just go ahead and say this. My elder, Mr. Ray Smith, is in the building. And let me just go ahead and say this. And I'm saying this to all the men out there. All the men out there. If a man got you by 10 years, that's your elder. You show that man some respect.
Salute.
You and that man are never on the same playing field. Don't give a damn what your rank is in life. Don't give a damn what your station in life. That's still your elder. And Mr. Smith ain't got me by 10 years. Let me say that. I still acknowledge that man as my elder because he has more time on this earth than I do. And all I can do is learn from him, whether he got it right or whether he got it wrong. All I can do is learn from him. Us as black men, we need to get it together. Indeed. We need to get it together because some of us ain't got daddies. Some of us ain't got uncles. Some of us ain't got that brother that's been out there in the world and everything like that. And you quick to tell an older brother that's trying to look out for you, Travis Hunter, to kiss your ass. Grow up. Nice segue for college football.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, great. Okay.
That said, brother, I didn't want to be rude.
Okay.
This is a show based off of the comment, the post that you put on Facebook. So please do us the honors of opening up what your post alluded to on Facebook.
Okay. Because I was, I was watching. When I watch, and just a little bit of a misnomer here, I started tuning into college football towards the end of the season. But I'm getting better at tuning into college football, you know what I'm saying, throughout the season because I got friends that come at me and they go, hey, did you see the blah, 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 blah game? Or, hey, did you see? And I hear you and you talk. So I'm like, okay, I ain't really been heavy into it since, like, I was in the military. You know what I'm saying? Right. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I was just kind of giving you the groundwork of the rationale. But I would say, what day was that? That was about 2 days ago. I put up a post and it said the college football ranking system is trash. Okay, and I based that on the fact that undefeated Oregon, not that they lost, how they lost. You the number one team according to the powers that be, but y'all got drugged. Y'all got drugged. How did Oregon get dragged like that if they the number one team? Was it like 41-21 was the final score?
Yep.
Y'all the number one team. What happened? Yeah, we know you played them earlier in the year, but when you played them, it was a competitive game. Back and forth. It wasn't just them stomping a mud hole in y'all behind. So does records dictate who should be or should strength of schedule, or you know what I'm saying? Because you got Big 10, Big 12, you got SEC. You know, I noticed over the years they've started to play each other a little more. Because I remember there was a time you wouldn't have never seen no Big 10 team playing against an SEC or a SWAC team. And you know why? Because by and large, and I'm going to say it, SEC teams and SWAC teams are a little stronger.
So, you asked a great question. It was loaded A lot of folks don't pick up on that. It was a loaded question. It was a loaded question. And if you don't watch college football, you don't know. You're just going to go with the peripheral answers and everything like that. Well, let's go back to Urban Meyer.
Okay.
Who came from Florida to coach Ohio State. What Urban Meyer did when he got to Ohio State was he opened up the portal, the influx of talent, speed specifically, from Florida to Ohio State, because he had built up a relationship in the state of Florida. Well, Jim Harbaugh got to Michigan and said it's lacking speed. One of the things he got in trouble with initially was setting up satellite camps in Florida to get the speed from Florida to Michigan, right? Okay, so cool. So we got that. So we know how we got speed up there, which explains why Ohio State, you know what I'm saying? Plus, to piggyback off of what you said, playing SEC teams, Big Ten teams, like you said, that ain't normally what it used to be. Playing SEC teams now exposes Big Ten programs to kids from the South who might not get recruited to play at prominent SEC schools. So the Big Ten started leveling off the playing field when it came to speed. All right, let's keep the party moving forward. We find ourselves in current day. Well, if I'm not mistaken, Ohio State, Michigan, Indiana, and Oregon are all in the Big Ten. Am I right or wrong?
That's correct.
Now, what I watched analysts do.
Is it Big 10 or is it Big 12 now?
Big 10.
Okay.
Big 10, because Arizona wound up playing for the Big 12 national championship. I'm gonna say championship. And it wasn't Indiana. So here's the thing: the same prognosticators, analysts who were telling you how unbeatable Oregon were based on their record were the same ones telling you or trying to invalidate Indiana based on their record. They're both playing Big Ten schedules. So if the Big Ten ain't really got nobody, and that's what you're saying because Indiana should have never been in the college football playoffs, then that logic literally applies to every team in the Big Ten. It ain't just Indiana. While strength of schedule does matter, it does. Nick Saban made an excellent point. When it was first announced that the teams got first round byes, he said, yeah, you like that because you get rest. You get players back, they heal up. But the first thing to go away when you have such a bye is tackling. That's the first thing to go away. And when you look at these scores, think about where we're going. When you look at these scores from the teams that did not have a bye, playing against the teams that did have a bye, if I'm not mistaken, aside from Arizona State, everybody damn near got doubled up.
Yeah.
Everybody
all
damn near got doubled up.
All the teams that had a bye lost, if I'm not mistaken.
They all did. And now damn, except for Arizona State, who went toe-to-toe with Texas, and we're going to talk about that in a few. Everybody, Georgia got doubled up. Ohio State got doubled up. And if I'm not mistaken, Boise State got the dog walked on them too.
Yeah.
So the tackling goes away. Yeah, you get healed up, but the tackling goes away. You add into that the teams that played that did not have a bye, they've developed a rhythm. They know what works. They know what doesn't. Quinn Ewers has been up and down all season. That is what that is. I've watched that young man play. His draft stock has fallen. It would behoove him to transfer and play another year, or Texas runs the risk of losing Arch Manning. Carson Beck came in as a Heisman Trophy candidate. He's been up and down all season. And while folks wanted to hype up Gunnar Stockton, he was a backup for a reason. Even when Carson Beck played his worst, they didn't put Gunnar in there. They kept rolling with Carson. Well, the second string quarterback is the second string quarterback for a reason. Boise State. I'm sorry. Who we comparing them to?
Who are we be comparing who to?
Boise State. Because that was the other team that had a bye. So Boise State, I'm sorry. Is Boise State Ohio State? No. Is Boise State Oregon? No. It's those teams should have never had byes because they don't have the talent that the other teams have. They ain't played the strength of schedule that the other teams have. Damn what they win-loss record look like when Boise State plays against Penn State, you're gonna get what you're gonna get. 9 out of 10 times, that's gonna be the same result. They play Penn State. They play Ohio State. Hell, playing a Michigan who has been up and down. I'm gonna tell you why I'm mentioning Michigan. Playing against a Michigan team that has been up and down all year, that would be the same result. Here's why Ohio State walked the dog on Oregon. You and I been living for a minute.
57 years.
Right. Mr. Ray Smith has been living longer than us. While we get excited about undefeated college football champions, that's not a commonality.
No,
normally they stumble somewhere along the way.
Yeah. Michigan went undefeated last year.
That's not a commonality. We see it, but it ain't a commonality. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you will see it, but in a 10-year time frame, it ain't like you seeing half the teams that won national championships go undefeated. You might get 2. Yeah. You might get 3 because Georgia went undefeated. But one year they won the national championship, they also lost the game. So to Alabama. So it ain't like it's not as common as we would think it to be. You add in that they lost to Michigan. That was probably the worst thing anybody wanted to happen if they were not an Ohio State fan. They lost to Michigan. Ryan Day's job is on the line. Whether we folks want to talk about it or not, he needed to make a deep run in the college football playoffs. Low key, the coach from Penn State, his job was on the line. And he is a brother because he never wins the big game. Well, Boise State was a big game. So you got 2 Big Ten teams highly motivated, and you had Ohio State with the revenge factor. So we just lost to Michigan. Our coach is under fire. And last time we saw y'all beat us. We don't think you better than us because y'all came from the, watch this, Oregon came from the Pac-12. If we don't think every Big Ten team was insulted that they lost to a Pac-12 team, we need to know better. They don't know what it's like to play Big Ten football. That's what SEC teams were saying about Texas and Oklahoma. We're not going to let them come over here and dominate. They don't know what SEC football is like. Well, the SEC gave Oklahoma a favorable schedule. That's not debatable. The Big Ten gave Oregon a favorable schedule. That's not debatable either. So that's why, like I said, you asked a loaded question. The answers weren't as simple as 1, 2, as just ABC. No, them teams lost for a reason, and nobody should be surprised.
Yeah, I agree with pretty much everything you said. But let me circle back to Texas and Quinn Ewers. Like you said, his play has been inconsistent all year, and I feel like they kind of stumbled into the place that they got great D. They got great D. But on the offensive side of the ball, I'm just not. I'm not saying that. I mean, my man throws passes in the triple coverage, and he throwing rainbow passes into triple coverage. Why are you throwing anybody can get it passes, period? And you can't run.
Let me tell you something. There have been games where his coach has been questioned as to why he did not go to Arch Manning. Now, I'm going to say this. He's not going to Arch Manning for one of a few reasons. And I just throw the most obvious one out there. He's in love with Quinn Ewers, trying to make sure he gets high draft pick and everything like that. I'm loyal to him. Your time will come. Okay, so now that we got that out the way, we ain't never got to draft that again. Maybe Arch Manning isn't ready. You know, I hear, yeah, he got athleticism and everything like that, but that ain't necessarily what you need to be a successful quarterback. Peyton Manning, his uncle. You don't need to be a stellar athlete to play quarterback. You need to have something between your ears. Now, what they have a tendency to show us when we're talking about these 4-star, 5-star quarterbacks is how athletic they are. Throwing to wide open receivers, him running. Okay, well, that's easy if you got the most physically dominant team. Show me the quarterback that can break down coverages. Show me the quarterback that can dissect a defense. I want to see that on film, because that might be the reason why, even though Quinn Ewers is struggling, Arch Manning ain't out there.
Well,
might not be ready.
Okay. So if you got a quarterback that's still on the stove cooking, and you got a quarterback that's out there spoiling, you just gonna go with the spoiled quarterback? I mean,
well, I can't say that, because once again, he put Arch Manning in the game when Georgia first played Texas. It didn't do no good. We've seen Arch Manning come in spurts. Well, in the SEC championship game, we clearly saw Quinn Ewers struggling again. Carson Beck got hurt. Georgia was losing. They put in Gunnar Stockton. They came back and won. At no point in time during that game did he even think about Arch Manning. So that tells me I go back to when Jake Fromm was quarterbacking for Georgia, and we had Justin Fields on the team. Justin Fields, highly touted, did not stick around for the second year because he knew Jake Fromm was coming back. Kirby Smart was reluctant to put Justin Fields on the field. And when he did, Justin Fields, to a degree, looked like Arch Manning. I'm going to use my legs. No. I need you to be able to break down a defense. Well, not saying that Arch Manning is going to be Justin Fields, and I don't even want to say Justin Fields is going to be who he is a year from now. You feel what I'm saying? I think he's gotten great coaching over there in Pittsburgh. But by and large, we saw a quarterback come into the NFL and was still trying to learn how to dissect defenses, right?
Right.
So I don't think it's as cut and dry, because the coach knows you better than anybody else. I don't think it's as cut and dry as we don't have a choice but to go to Arch Manning. The coach is there. I think he feels like Arch ain't ready.
So
regardless of how me and you feel.
So what do we see Texas doing?
It's one, I don't see Texas beating Penn State.
Okay. But Penn State got to get past Notre Dame first.
They're going to beat Notre Dame. So here's the thing. Penn State going to beat Notre Dame. Ohio State going to beat Texas. It's going to be Penn State and Ohio State, essentially a Big Ten national championship. Because I think Notre Dame didn't call a break. One, that's an independent school. We question strength of schedule all the time. Okay. Well, y'all ain't really played nobody. When they played Georgia. Georgia was 11-2. Georgia went in there with their second string quarterback, and I'm gonna say it one more time. He was second string for a reason. I know what folks want to build up the hype and everything like that, but even at Carson Beck's worst, we never saw Gunnar Stockton take the field. Unlike Texas and Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning, we never saw Gunnar Stockton. So you play a Georgia team banged up, right? It's been said they played the hardest schedule of the season. You feel me? I'm not saying that. That's what's been said. Okay, well, it's safe to say if this team ain't checking off all the boxes because of what they've endured during the entire season, recently losing their starting quarterback during the SEC championship game, they're going to struggle offensively. That's what that's going to be. Well, I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening with Penn State. I don't see that. They're healthy. And the coach got a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah. He got something to prove. He definitely got something to prove because he gonna take it. They're gonna come down on him harder if they lose.
Yeah, and one of his motivating factors in the locker room, we get to run it back with Ohio State because we don't feel like we should have lost to them the first time. So we're gonna make an example out of Notre Dame. That's what I'm looking at. But at the end of the day, you got a $20 million roster. If Ryan Day can't get it done this year, I don't know what year he can get it done.
He ain't gonna. he ain't gonna. Period.
I don't know.
So the stage is set. Okay, we got Ohio State and Texas. We got Penn State and Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And would I be out of place to say I would love to see Penn State take it off?
No. You wouldn't. I think that would be the underdog.
No offense, Mr. Smith. No offense, because I know Mr. Smith is Ohio all day.
Yeah. No, I don't, because the coach is who he is. His personality, his demeanor. They would be coming in the game as the underdog. I think he's somebody you can get behind, you can root for. Honestly, truth be told, considering where his team is at, I don't believe he's in jeopardy of losing his job, whether they beat Notre Dame or whether they make it and lose to Ohio State in the national championship game. I think he's done what he was supposed to do. In regards to Ryan Day, he's polarizing. I don't think it's due to anything he's personally done. I think he's just a polarizing figure because of his team's record under his tenure. And so with him, I think he's more so in I gotta win. You can't lose to Texas. You can't. You can't. You can't. You carry the flag for the Big Ten. You can't. And we in revenge mode against the SEC. And plus, the last time you took the field against an SEC team, college football playoffs, Georgia, you lost. You can't. That would put him in another position. You get to the national championship game, losing to Notre Dame would be unacceptable. But you can't lose to Penn State either. You can't. You cannot come back to Ohio having left, leaving the taste in your fan base mouth that not only did you lose to Michigan, you also lost to Penn State for the national championship game. I don't know if he would be able to recover from that. I don't. If folks can say what they want to, I don't know. Because they are folks that don't like him. Mr. Smith is one of them.
Yeah. He in the comments.
So that ain't me making that up. There's a segment, there's a fan base, there's a demographic in Ohio where it's since you lost to Michigan, the only thing you can do is win the national championship. If you don't win it, we don't want you back. Damn how successful the program has been. If you do not bring home the natty, don't come back. I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just telling you there are quite a few Ohio State Buckeye fans. That's where they're at. So,
hey, let's go to the comments because Mr. Smith is lighting them up.
Yeah, he is, and I'm not by myself.
No, you don't like him. Yeah.
Hold on, we got Armando Black TV. He got Penn State versus Ohio State in the finals. Thank you so much. What's going on, Armando? Welcome to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. We talk some stuff over here. We be motivated to talk some more stuff if we get these numbers where we're supposed to be at. But yeah, so yeah, thank you so much for pulling up. Mr. Smith said he ain't by himself.
He said I don't like him. So that mean the whole state probably.
Bro, you know what took the cake? Everybody knew, like we could sit back and this is how OSU fans look at it. We don't want to lose to Michigan, but we understand Jim Harbaugh was over there. Well, okay, he ain't over there no more. We don't understand how you lost to that brother with that team like you did, and you supposed to be all that in the bag of chips. What is we doing at this particular point? Bro, they wanted him gone after the Michigan loss. Like, wanted him gone.
Well, that
Ryan Day losing to Penn State would not cost him his job because it is a conference rivalry. I don't think it should. I'm not saying it would. I think, though, Armando, we both can say it's quite a few. Mr. Smith is right here. Mr. Smith is right here. While we don't believe it should cost him his job because good coaches are hard to find, let's just go ahead and say that what it is. And regardless of how people feel, this is just me being a realist. Ohio State is still one of the top 5 programs year in and year out.
Oh yeah. Without a doubt, man.
So
they always have a conversation.
Right.
Always.
So you never fire a coach. I don't believe in college football if your program is always in the top 5 because you don't know what could happen if you replace them. So no, I'm not the one sounding the alarm for Ryan Day to be fired, regardless of the outcome. I'm not suggesting it. I just know there are those who want that to go. Like he can't do nothing else. You gotta win. You gotta win. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. Because it would be crazy, but I know that's what the AD would be looking at. You lost our 2 biggest rivals, and we ain't got nothing to show for it.
Except sore butts.
So
Mr. Smith, he said he'd take Mike Vrabel.
I don't know. And the reason why I say I don't know about that, because since I've been alive, watching college football, college coaches don't necessarily do well transitioning to be a head coach in pro football, and pro football coaches don't necessarily transition well over to being head coaches in college football. And so while I like Mike Vrabel has 2 things against him that I'm just being real about. One, while his teams in Tennessee were competitive, there's no hardware in the trophy case. That's strike 1. Strike 2, he is a descendant from the Bill Belichick tree. Okay, give me the last person from the Bill Belichick tree that was successful as a head coach. I'll wait. Right. So I understand. So I get, because I'm not a big fan of Bill Belichick being hired as a coach at North Carolina. He got a lot of cachet with his name, but it doesn't necessarily make him relatable to today's crop of kids. It don't. Yeah, they see you got all them rings and everything like that, but what's your relatability with these young men? So I'm in a wait and see position with that one. But
so
no, I'm not.
Wait. I think I know where the rationale is. Right there. I was just getting ready to say, what school did Mike Vrabel play for?
Right.
So
it's like this.
There you go. That's the rationale there.
Yeah, I get it and I like it, but him going to that school doesn't guarantee success. It might help in regards to recruiting, but then again, when you take into Ryan Day's done a great job in recruiting. So damn, Mike Vrabel finna out recruit him. Ohio State has done a great job in the transfer portal. Damn, Mike Vrabel finna outdo that. Like, there's everything has always been there for Ohio State to be successful. Let's go back to it. Why didn't Ohio State beat Georgia? Now, folks will say Ryan Day and clock management. You know what I'm going to say as a Georgia Bulldog fan? Watching that game, Georgia got the luck of the bounce. Just as easily as old boy missed the field goal, he could have easily made it. Just as easily as old boy hit Marvin Harrison Jr. in the end zone, and the referee did not throw a flag on it for targeting, he could have easily thrown a flag on it for targeting. It was the bounce of the ball. And sometimes that happens. It doesn't take away anything from the fact that Ryan Day is an incredible coach. Mike Tomlin is an incredible coach, right? I think it's safe to say Ryan Day may have played in more championship games than Mike Tomlin. And I don't think we're saying anything bad about Mike Tomlin. So I think the vitriol in regards to Ryan Day is no different than the vitriol in regards to Mark Richt when he was coaching at the University of Georgia itself. Mark Richt never did for the University of Georgia what Ryan Day has done for Ohio State. Ryan Day's biggest problem, he followed behind Urban Meyer. That's his biggest problem. That's Ryan Day's biggest problem right there. Urban Meyer got Ohio State fans used to some stuff Ryan Day ain't been able to deliver on. It's going to be the same thing for old boy down in Alabama. You following behind Nick Saban. You didn't want to do that because you ain't going to be able to keep up.
So they're going to tweak the process.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. Armando, okay. You a Georgia Bulldog fan, big dog. Boy, roll. Hold on, damn it. Hold on, damn it. Wait a minute.
See, now y'all done got him started. He can't ready to go grab his Bulldog stuff and act a whole fool out here. But, you know.
You're damn right. You're damn right. You damn right. Listen, it's always good it's always good to talk to a fellow Georgia Bulldog fan. It always is and everything like that. That's what that is. We diehard Georgia Bulldog fans right here. Oh man, it's great. Thank you so much, brother, for putting up. Yes, sir. Oh, come on, somebody. Lifelong dog.
He said lifelong dog.
Listen, dog. You ready? Here's the thing. Big D. Folks say, well, y'all ain't got the 3 national championships, 1908. No. We actually got one the year I was born, 1968. We just don't claim it, but it's us. The media said we won the national championship in 1968. I knew it was something. So, far as I'm concerned, we got 4. Not 4, 4. 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4. So, but shout out to you, Big Armando. Thank you for putting up, big guy. Thank you so much. What you say? Yeah, that's what we're not just Urban, but Jim Tressel. See?
Yeah.
He ain't doing nothing wrong. It's just
hey, did you see what he said about Kirby Smart dad?
Hold on, wait a minute. Oh no. No. Damn.
Prayers and condolences.
Yeah, man. Wow, man.
It's a hard thing to lose the patriarch. It's a real hard thing to lose the patriarch, man. So
yeah, absolutely. So but yeah, man, I think that's what it is. When you're falling behind legends like that, man, like it's different. When Urban Meyer was winning national championships, and I think this is something we need to take into consideration as fans. Back then, if you were ranked number 1, you automatically playing for the national championship. You just need to win your conference game, and that's it. They're going to chill you out for a couple of weeks. You're going to come back and play the number 2 ranked team. That's what that is. So you're not having to go through all that. Now you add in the complexities of the transfer portal. That robs everybody's teams of depth. We remember those great Miami teams back in the day where you had folks that would have been starting somewhere else, 3rd, 4th string playing for the U. They're not doing that anymore. So you're getting your program robbed in the transfer portal. You got to build up tradition in your program and maintain it. You got to establish some type of loyalty. Then in the midst of all that, when you got to play one championship game, they sit around and say, no, you got to now play in a college football playoff. The folks that came before you had it easy. Now they sitting up here saying, because think about what we're doing. We keep adding games to the schedule. But we want to say these kids. No, these are paid athletes. That's what this is. This is a business. Now you sit up here and you add another game to the schedule. Well, I would argue, I could be right, I could be wrong. I would argue that Ryan Day has a more difficult time today getting his team to the National Football Championship and winning than anybody that came before him, based on the way this system is currently set up. So I think it's a testament.
You'll get no argument from me because that was the whole premise behind my post.
Yeah. So because watch this. I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan. Armando clearly is a Georgia Bulldog fan. The reality of the situation is the way this thing is currently set up, 16 team conferences. You don't need to, you can hope and pray your team win the national championship, but it's not given regardless of how good your team is, based on how difficult it is to get there. It's too many games. It is too many games. There's no consistency in strength of schedule, which is why the Big Ten and the SEC talking about chalking up the deuces. There's no consistency in that. So it's going to be difficult, regardless of if you got the best program or the best coach, to get what some might feel is the automatic result, not the desired result, the automatic result. It's what that is. That's my opinion.
Now, when you say automatic result, what do you mean by that?
What I mean when I say automatic result, so if we look at Alabama, we look at a Georgia team from back in the day, or even Oregon if they were playing still in the Pac-12. Well, clearly from day one, our roster is better than anybody else. Clearly from day one, our coaching, because all that come into play, our coaching is better than anybody else. That's when you see a team and the majority of their scores are lopsided. It might be one close game, and that's probably the rival. But the majority of them teams, the scores are lopsided. They play their college football conference game. It is, here we go. The best example I can give you is that year that Georgia beat TCU for the national championship. Okay. Coaching staff, check. Talent, check. Watch this. And that was with Stetson Bennett at quarterback. But he was a true dual threat quarterback. He was smart as hell. They were clearly the most dominant team from the beginning to the end. You cannot necessarily say that about anybody this year, regardless of whether you like them or not. Because all I did was, yeah, Oregon undefeated. This is what I kept saying to myself. They ain't been tested. You got them playing in the Big Ten. Them moving from the Pac-12 was beneficial, not just from a financial standpoint, but also from a talent standpoint. As soon as they move over to the Big Ten, it's them, Ohio State, and right up under that, Michigan, because the coach just left, and Penn State.
Don't Oregon got that big Nike deal?
They also play on the West Coast.
I'm saying though, because
no. The
Nike headquarters is in Oregon. So
when I say that,
they pour money into Oregon State.
Right, but that's the only thing they can do is pour money into that program. If that program did not have the Nike connection with Phil Knight, we wouldn't be talking about Oregon. That's the only reason why them kids going out there. Phil Knight, Nike, all them different color uniforms and everything like that. But there's still not the tradition built in of football going to the NFL of a Michigan and Ohio State or Alabama. Georgia's fairly new to this, by the way. You see what I'm saying? Georgia's fairly new to this conversation. So there's not that there. So these other teams where the tradition has already been established over ages, they still gonna get the cream of the crop. That's still what that's gonna be. So you, like I said, you in the Big Ten, you might not want to go over there. Dan Lanning is on the West Coast, so he owned the West Coast to himself. But when last time we talked about Oregon putting a whole bunch of people in the NFL? Oh, okay.
Ever?
That tell you what you want to know. These kids are still going to the traditional programs despite all that money that Phil Knight is pouring into Oregon. These kids are still choosing to go to traditional college football programs because that's where the pros are checking for. It's unfortunate. It is what it is at the end of the day. So you got Oregon. I like Oregon. But okay, so we sit up here and look at Oregon. Who getting drafted? First round. Off that roster. We ain't got to know their name. We ain't got to know their name. You just look at, you gonna probably say alignment. Because there's nothing that stood out from you from these skill positions for you to sit up there and say one of them getting drafted the first round. You pick old boy from Boise State first.
Probably. Probably. But I mean, it's obvious. Yeah. I the O-line is definitely where you want to go if you're trying to pick something up, because that's a wall. That man be having time to throw.
Now watch this. That ain't the only place you can go to get an O-lineman. You see what I'm saying?
No, it is not.
You see what I'm saying? That's what me and you were saying from looking at Oregon's play on the football field. Well, the only person we're really looking at as the quarterback, but me and you not looking at the quarterback as being a high first round draft pick. We looking at him maybe second, third. Damn all them stats, because they're gonna sit up and say he too short. They're gonna say he too short. They're gonna do something else to nitpick him.
You run a 5.3 40.
Listen, if he want his draft stock to rise, he's gonna have to go through every quarterback drill, and he gonna have to run the 40. He gonna have to run the 40. That is what that is. And at the end of the day, we still looking at him getting drafted no higher than Stetson Bennett, probably. He not getting drafted as a day one starter. He ain't. Quinn Ewers ain't getting drafted as a day one starter.
You know what? I'd be shocked if Quinn Ewers go in the first, second, or third round. I know he ain't going in the first. Ain't nobody picking him in the first round. Probably ain't picking him in the second either.
No, he said Tyler Warren would be my first round pick as a Falcon fan.
I think if Quinn Ewers had been born in the 80s, or would have been rather playing football in the 80s, his stock might be a little higher.
You know what? I can't even say that then, because he would probably still be a step behind, because there's no reason why Quinn Ewers, no differently than Carson Beck. I can't explain the fall off. Because today's athlete is still better than yesterday's athlete. He ain't Peyton Manning. You know what I'm saying? Quinn Ewers is not Peyton Manning. He's a better athlete than Peyton Manning. So all I'm asking you to do right now at this particular point in time, I ain't even asking you to be as smart as Peyton Manning. I am asking you to be smart, though. As a fourth-year starter, he should know where to go with the football. His offensive line ain't that bad. It ain't. So
yeah, and he throws picks.
Right. So to me, it has nothing to do with his athletic ability. It has everything to do with his maturity as a quarterback, which is a damn shame, because he should know better by now. But then again, Carson Beck did the same thing.
What did Armando say? He said Ewers is Daniel Jones 2.0.
That's what he said. That's what he said. That's who Tyler Warren is. He's Tyler Warren is a tight end for Penn State.
Danny Dimes Jr.
I mean, and I didn't understand that. Like the New York Giants, I don't get this. You know what? It'd be one of them things, but it'd be like, if you are a fan, you don't be knowing how some folks got their job. You don't know how some folks in football got their job. I don't know what the New York Giants were looking at when they drafted Daniel Jones to be their quarterback. I don't dislike Daniel Jones. I don't. But there was nothing that ever jumped off the tape for me that said, that's my quarterback. And because this would be my expectation as a GM, as an owner, as a head coach, there was nothing that ever jumped off the page, off the film, that said Daniel Jones was going to lead the Giants to a Super Bowl. He couldn't even lead Duke to a damn cup. Never mind. Bruh, and now they sitting him down because he's not the answer. He was never the answer. Never. Why did you draft him?
The fact that on one hand you had Daniel Jones, and on the other hand you had Saquon Barkley, and they said we keeping Daniel Jones and we get rid of Saquon Barkley.
You know what? I'm finna say this right here, and it might not be famous. Stop looking at the quarterback playing D1 football. Sometimes, here we go, because I'm going to go ahead and tell it for what it is. Where did Shedeur Sanders come from?
Colorado by way of Jackson State.
By way of who?
Jackson State.
What is that?
A traditional HBCU.
Who else came from Jackson State with Shedeur Sanders?
Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter. Now, somewhere along the line, we've let folks like Jerry Jones, yes, I'm going for you, Jerry. We've let them tell us that the HBCU isn't draft worthy anymore. Well, when did we get here? Because Jerry Rice did not play D1 football. And ain't Jerry in the Hall of Fame?
He is.
Hold on. I'm a diehard Steeler fan in Tallahassee, Florida. If I'm not mistaken, Earl Holmes played for and starred for FAMU. You drafted him. So I don't know when we got to this point where you got these lame behind owners saying, oh, well, we got to go get talent from D1 because it looked like us. No, you don't want to win. It's plenty of talent sitting right there, and Shedeur Sanders just proved it. That's why they mockingly said when they got up to Colorado, we was just playing the HBCU. It ain't that much difference between the talent here and the talent there. And if you look at how those two men played, Travis Hunter winning the Heisman Trophy, let me just go ahead and say this right here because I feel like I got to always say this. To Robert Wheeler, my classmate from 1986. Remember that dumbass comment that you made about HBCUs being underfunded? How do you like that? Two of the most dominant college football players in D1 2024 came from HBCU. The fact that brothers like you open up your mouth like that make me ashamed to say I even know you. The fact that you're a black man from Southwest Georgia, from rural Georgia, you know what it is, and you say that because you think you intelligent. No, you stupid. You lame. And you got some self-identity problem. I don't give a damn what your PhD is in. You need to study blackness. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm back.
Yeah. Hey, Paul Martin just stepped in the room. Hey, Paul Martin, how you doing? Yes,
what's going on, Mr. Martin?
We out here today. We in these streets. We
in here. We're talking college football. Ward just got to mind them risky plays. He is showroom ready, most definitely. I mean, let's get him. Let's get him now. Let's get him now. I ain't. Cam Ward can start. Yes, Cam Ward can start. Cam Ward. That I'm not gonna argue that. I'm not gonna debate that. Cam Ward, and this is what you need in today's football. You need a game changer at the quarterback position. You need a game changer. Whether he's a game changer physically or whether he's a game changer mentally. You need somebody back there at the QB position the other team is afraid of. They need to be game planning how to stop him. It ain't whether it's how to stop him from running, how to stop him from passing, how to stop him from audibleizing, because he know our damn defense, a la Peyton Manning. We got to disguise damn coverages. You need a game changer back there at quarterback. Clearly, Cam Ward is that. He did that for Miami. That's why the coaches nor the AD had a problem with him sitting out the second half. You got a problem with him sitting out the second half, you need to go talk to the coach and the AD, because they knew that's what that was before the game took place.
Can I ask an unpopular question?
Go ahead.
Why is Travis Hunter the Heisman Trophy winner?
Okay, so I'm going to answer that. So, you know, I've been watching college football for a minute now.
Okay.
And, so I go back. And the last dude that I saw do what Travis Hunter did, and he ain't even do it as well as Travis Hunter, he also won the Heisman Trophy, by the way, was Charles Woodson. Played for the University of Michigan. If I'm not mistaken, wound up playing for the Oakland Raiders, Los Angeles Raiders, whatever Raiders they played for, and the Green Bay Packers. Charles Woodson won that. Desmond Howard won the national championship by and large based on his play as a receiver, but not only as a receiver, as a special teamer. He was a kickoff returner and he was a punt returner. Well, Travis Hunter started on both sides of the ball. Charles Woodson didn't do that. He played occasionally.
Okay. There's a difference between starting on both sides of the ball and making plays on both sides of the ball.
He did that.
Enough.
He did enough.
Okay.
The thing is there's an unfair comparison. The guy, if we're talking about the guy from Boise State, he should have easily won the best running back award. Hands down, it ain't even a question to me.
Genty.
But, huh?
Genty.
Yeah, he should have easily won it. But when I look at Travis Hunter, I can tell you, Daryl, one, to start on both sides of the ball every game unless you're injured, that's crazy. Because Travis Hunter ain't that big.
No,
he's not a physically imposing person. I can tell you he's made enough splash plays as a receiver and as a defensive back when you like, how in the hell? He didn't went off as a receiver. Now, has he went off as a receiver as much as Genty went off as a running back? No. You got Shedeur Sanders there, and then there was another famous wide receiver. His son
was Shedeur Sanders even in the running?
Yeah, Shedeur Sanders would take off running sometimes. They didn't have a
no. I mean for the Heisman.
A little bit he was, but they were losing games. And you know, when you lose games, they blame that on the quarterback. But he's gonna still be drafted in the first round because by and large, the games they lost weren't his fault. They weren't his fault. He don't play defense. And honestly, I can say to you, it wasn't Travis Hunter's fault. You the cornerback. You getting beat by teams that's running the football. And teams that's throwing it, they ain't throwing your way. Okay. They ain't throwing your way. So I think
he was the best candidate for the Heisman because he played on both sides of the ball and made an impact.
Yeah, that's where I'm coming from. I'm not anybody who feels, and I shout out to Josh Pate, College Football Show. I'm not saying anybody that feels like Genty should have won it is wrong. That's not what I'm saying. You can make that statement. I wouldn't push back on it. But if you ask me why they selected Travis Hunter, then I'm going to give you that. No different than if you would have asked me, why did they choose Genty? You can't be wrong either way you go. It just is what it is. So, yeah. So Travis didn't just play. No, he showed up. He showed up quite a few times. I wasn't just watching highlights. I was watching the game. You know, he did his thing. He did his thing.
Okay.
He did his thing. I'm doing my best to keep up with these notes. Why Shedeur Sanders was not a Heisman finalist?
That was my question.
I'm gonna call it, as Josh Pate would say, I believe in giving people their credit. I'm gonna call it the Deion tax. I'm gonna call it the Deion tax. You Deion Sanders' son. It's a lot of mouth being, it's a lot of trash being talked. It's a lot of trash being talked. And one of the things that we can say about Travis Hunter, he was not as boisterous with the media as Shedeur Sanders. Rightfully so, wrongfully so. Not necessarily alienating those who going to vote for you. And if we look at anybody in media who thinks the way Jason Whitlock thinks, then
don't talk about him.
I'm just saying they out there because he couldn't wait. Every time he said something about Colorado, it was negative. So, and I don't believe he's
He a coon.
Well, what I'm saying is he's the one that we know of. There are quite a few out there, and because Deion Sanders went back and forth with some of them. There are quite a few out there that aren't named Jason Whitlock, don't look like Jason Whitlock. Some do, some don't. They wasn't gonna vote for Shedeur.
But talk that same stuff Jason Whitlock talked.
Yeah. So Shedeur Sanders did not lose anything. He did not win the Heisman and everything, but I'm pretty sure if he had a choice, if I'm not going to win it, I would want my brother Travis Hunter to win it. The guy got Tom Brady in his corner.
Say he going to the Raiders. He going to the Raiders.
He printed money. He's printed money. And here's the thing. He going to go where he want to go. Shedeur is going to pull the Peyton Manning. He finna pull the Eli Manning, and you ain't going to be able to stop him. Because his dad done already told you. He going to go where we want him to go. If you ain't got it worked out where he coming to come play for you, don't draft that dude.
Oh, your boy talking about the little fella for Arizona State, Scatterboo.
Oh man, listen.
Now I watched that game. And Texas defense had that man confounded in the first half. They had him locked. They put the clamps on his ass in the first half, and now he got 1 or 2 plays. And I feel like the only reason they even talk about him,
I'm gonna say this. You know who he remind me of?
Who?
I didn't watch him run.
I watched him run all day the other day.
I'm talking about during the season. He low key remind me of Craig James and John Lynch. I'm not Craig James and John Lynch. What's the running back for fullback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers used to be back in the day? Because John Lynch was the safety. All-Star, Mike All-Star.
Mike All-Star.
He low-key remind me of Craig James and Mike All-Star. So all I'm saying is
Mike All-Star size.
Huh?
He ain't Mike All-Star size.
That's why I said Craig James. Craig James.
And he a tailback, and he run north and south.
Yeah, so
as soon as he run into traffic, he put his head down.
So here's the thing. A football player is a football player.
Okay.
I don't know how because Zach Thomas was not necessarily a physical specimen when Jimmy Johnson drafted him with the Dallas Cowboys, and then later on picked him up through free agency with the Miami Dolphins, Jason Taylor's brother-in-law. Zach Thomas was a beast. So I said, here we go. And that's crazy. I'm getting ready to say this. Marcus Allen wasn't fast. Yeah, he was graceful.
Marcus Allen was elusive.
What we want to say, he wasn't fast though, and he made it to the Hall of Fame. So when I look at your boy Scatterboo, right? He got something. He got something. And I think no more than I think he's going to be somebody. He gonna stick. I like him better than I like Daniel Jones. I like him better than I like Daniel Jones. And watch this. Low key, don't we already have a Scatterboo in the league? He played for the New Orleans Saints.
You know who Scatterboo reminds me of?
Old boy in the New Orleans Saints. He don't?
Kamar?
No. The white dude that played every position for the New Orleans Saints. I can't remember his name, but he played every position.
The one that's the D-back too.
I don't think they got him at D-back, running back, tailback, wide receiver, tight end, quarterback. He do it all.
Yeah, there it is. Taysom Hill. Yeah. Cam ain't no Taysom Hill though. He remind me of Austin Eckler, who you put in when you need him in a situation, not who you sit your franchise on.
That 40 time gonna tell it. If he run a sub 4.40,
he ain't running no sub 4. He ain't running no sub 4.40. He ain't running no sub 4. I got him at 4.5. Mark it down.
No, I got to mark it down. I heard you say it. I got him at 4.45. Okay. I got him at 4.45. So I'll split the difference with you. But here's the thing. We all know, those of us that follow college football, if there's a question about his 40 time between now and the NFL Combine, Daryl, you need to know that's what his trainer's focusing on. And if they're sitting up there telling him, all you need to do is run this, and this is the difference between you being drafted on day 1 or day 2 or 3, he ain't working on no bench press. That is not what it's going to be. He ain't working on he's not going to be working on nothing to be stronger. He's going to be working on everything dedicated to being faster. That I'm telling you, he gonna run. He's not gonna run a 4.5 nothing. He gonna run below 4.5, even if it's 4.47. Anything below 4.5.
So he going in the first round.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised. I wouldn't be a bit surprised, because if you're looking to fill a position as a team, right? And let's say you got salary cap restrictions, right? Well, just like with Taysom Hill, he's unselfish. Total team player. Will give his last for his team. Those are traits that you want from a player. You will be able to get him to fulfill those gaps in your team until you can address them. He ain't got to start at them, just like we do with Taysom Hill, bring him in.
Well, the reason I say what I say is because watching that game, it wasn't so much like Scatterboo changed the face of that game so much as it is Texas fucked it off.
Well, let me ask you this question.
They had how much of a lead on Arizona?
No. I want to ask this question right here. So Arizona State, in my opinion, should never have had a first round bye. To me, Texas is the superior athletic team compared to Arizona State. So then I must ask myself, if I take Scatterboo and put him behind Texas line and has him face off against Arizona, what that looking like? Because see, it's even
Texas O-line.
You see what I'm saying? I don't believe Arizona. I believe it's not that Tim Scatterboo couldn't get loose. Your offensive line couldn't match up with the defensive line in front of it. That's going to negatively impact you as a runner. Well, what happens if I take this same individual, put him behind a quarterback you got to be concerned about, receivers you got to be concerned about, and a steady offensive line? What that look like?
Well, that look like a playoff team.
So that's why I said, I understand him not getting loose in the first half. You can be him all day, every day, twice on Sunday. You ain't going nowhere if that offensive line can't create no holes. You ain't going
Exactly. I mean, and it wasn't like he ran roughshod. He got like a couple breakout runs, and that was because on that particular play, they called something that opened up a nice hole, and my man bounced into the 2-hole, the 4-hole, and got like 20, 28.
Emmitt Smith wasn't fast at all.
Emmitt Smith knew how to follow a block.
Do you know how easy it was when
because he had big 400-pound offensive linemen in front of him.
You know what I'm saying? Like Emmitt Smith always had an offensive line. Like when folks you talk about Emmitt Smith this, Emmitt Smith that, I'm like, do y'all not see how big that damn hole is? Like, what are y'all talking about? We could have ran through that damn hole. Like, so when I'm looking at Scatterboo, I'm saying to myself, wherever he goes, if your offensive line in disarray, you don't need to draft him. You don't need to draft Scatterboo. As a GM, if your offensive line is in disarray, you're rebuilding your offensive line. That's not what you do. You don't draft him. If your offensive line is solid, because if it is, you want a running back that's going to get north and south and then dance. You don't want one that's dancing before they get north and south. Then you draft Tim Scatterboo. You draft him. It's a rookie contract. It's a rookie contract. It's a Swiss knife player. You can line him up in the backfield, motion him to receiver. Okay, well, I don't like the linebacker that's going to be guarding him in the pros. I don't like that matchup. I don't. You can line him up on a strong safety. Okay, well, I don't like that matchup against a strong safety because he's stocky. I don't even want the strong safety to get up on him because even if he just run blocking, he finna manhandle the safety. Okay, well, yeah, he ain't tall, but okay, well, if I got a good offensive line, do I really want to tackle him on the second level as a DB? No, because he's running with bad intentions. As you say, he get north and south. He ain't trying to run by. No, he's trying to run through you. So
he's literally a rhino. Literally. I mean, a smaller one to say the least, but he
definitely a rhino. Listen, you ain't said nothing I disagree with.
I mean, he average size. What I'm looking at is he's 5'11". He don't look that tall. 215. So,
bro, he 215.
Oh, that's a pretty decent sized running back,
bro.
So maybe
mass times acceleration equals force. Like I said, that 40 time gonna tell it. That 40 time gonna tell it. If he run a sub 4.5 40.
I mean, he was the catalyst in that game. You know what I'm saying? He sparked them. I ain't doubting none of that. He's probably a key player, but is he gonna make that impact in NFL? Because I done seen squad or players in college that they going ham in college, and then as soon as they hit the NFL, it's like they built different over here.
Well, for a couple of reasons, and it's not something that's talked about. So the college athlete coming over from college football, they really don't get an off season. You might get 2 weeks. You're getting drafted. So you got to prepare physically for the NFL draft. Well, we're looking at college football seasons getting longer. 12-game seasons are now turning to 15-game season. So college football draft is in April. So it's January right now. So let's play this game. You and I just finished playing. Say we got beat yesterday, or we got beat Thursday. Me and you played for Georgia. Well, how many games was that? Because the regular season is 12. So you and I just played 14 games, right? Say you and I are considered to be high draft picks, right? So how many weeks we giving ourselves off? The NFL Combine is in April. You and I are trying to raise our draft stock. Not only that, we got collegiate all-star games to be a part of. When is our body getting that rest? Okay, well, we just got drafted. Now we got minicamp. And for rookies, you don't get a pass. You got to be there. You got minicamp. You got voluntary workout camp. You got to be there. Then you got minicamp. Then you got fall camp. Mind you, while you've been doing all this, the pros got a break. Like, once your season over with, you ain't getting ready for nothing. You get ready for the regular season, but you got a break. And you're used to playing a long season as a pro. You're not used to that. This affects the collegiate players, not only in the NFL, but the NBA. You see those coming from NCAA play professional basketball. They're struggling. They ain't playing as many. They're not used to playing that many games. then they really ain't got no break. They really don't get acclimated to seasonal play until year 2 or 3. So you and I ain't getting no break. Our body is worn down. It's a 16-game season. And now me and you going up against dudes with damn near everybody on that team like me and you. Ain't no break.
Right. Right.
So long story short, the collegiate superstar coming over to the NFL, there's a reason why we don't necessarily see them bust out the woodworks year 1, especially we talking to quarterback. There's a brand new playbook. You got to read defenses.
Well, we talking a running back.
Yeah, running back is a little bit simpler because we got to hand the ball off to you, but there's still wear and tear on your legs. You're still tired. You've been running a lot, especially if you're Tim Scatterboo. You have been basically your whole entire offense. You tired. You tired. You might not ever say it. You tired. You tired. So he run us up 5.440. I think he will be fine. He's not going to be fine, and I don't think we need to hold this against him if he get drafted by a sorry team whose offensive line is sorry. I don't think anybody need to talk about his production during that season if we know that's what that is. I think we need to be
well, who are we looking at? I mean, if he first round material, who are we looking at grabbing him? Carolina, Los Angeles, Chicago.
I wouldn't draft maybe Chicago. I wouldn't draft him if I was Carolina. In fact, Carolina got too many holes to fill. Now, and I wouldn't draft him in San Francisco, even though I would like him in San Francisco. They already got Deebo Samuel there, Christian McCaffrey. They don't need another Swiss Army knife.
Deebo is basically a running back, a tailback. who runs patterns.
Now watch this. You know what position he played in South Carolina?
What position?
Wide receiver.
Yeah, he is a wide receiver by position, but what do you mostly see Deebo on?
I'm agreeing with you. What I'm saying is they don't, because Christian McCaffrey is used pretty much the same way. They don't need a third one like that. That's what I was saying. Because Deebo Samuels did get drafted as a wide receiver, but he's a Swiss Army knife. They use him all over the place. I wouldn't say San Francisco, maybe. And I don't know who has a high first-round draft pick. Seattle could use him. I'm not necessarily looking at the New York Giants. I don't like their offensive line. I think he needs to go someplace where they got a solid offensive line. I don't know which team that is, but do not draft him if your offensive line is not up to par. Don't do it.
Well, of the ones that sit in the lowest, I want to say the Raiders.
What about Cincinnati?
Had the best offensive line.
What about Cincinnati?
If Cincinnati win today, they in the playoffs.
Oh, okay. Well, we ain't doing that then.
No, wait a minute. Take that back. Cincinnati got to win.
I mean, here's what I would say.
But Denver and Miami got to lose. So yeah, they ain't as low as some other people.
Here's what I would say. I like what the Raiders are doing. They drafted Brock Bowers out of Georgia last year. The
tight end.
Your tight end. So them drafting Scatterboo, I think, would make defenses uneasy. I think it would start to make defenses uneasy because Brock Bowers is him. And so you would add another him to the mix. I think they got a decent quarterback in Oakland, probably going to need to do something about that. But at the end of the day, if you got decent offensive line,
they need a quarterback.
Yeah, I think right now, I forget the name of the guy. I forget the name of the guy that they have right now. What's going on, Big Terry? What's going on?
Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah, so if you got a decent offensive line, if you got a decent tight end who can stretch the field in the passing game, which they do have with Brock Bowers, and then you draft a Tim Scatterboo, and now you got to start game planning for the Raiders. You know, you need some receivers on the outside and everything like that, somebody can stretch the field. But now all of a sudden, if you got a quarterback, doesn't have to be the most talented quarterback, just a quarterback that's not going to cost you games, not going to turn the ball over, be deliberate with their ball placement, you got a team that could easily win 9-10 games this year, if that's what they do. But that's if what they do. But like I said, no team with a shaky offensive line need to draft Scout because he is a north and south runner.
Yeah, very much a north and south runner. My man, he get past the line of scrimmage and drop his head. Now,
you know what? Now, this me. You know, I'm a Steelers fan.
Yes, I do.
I like what we got back there at running back, but I ain't necessarily pressed because you're playing on the 5th-year option right now. I ain't necessarily pressed to sign my starting running back to no contract. I like him. I like him, but I know we still need to fill some holes. So if I already got a running back there that if he see a crease, he out of there. You got to catch him. So,
well, if I had both of y'all, Warren and Harris, are threats in their own way.
Right. So but I'm saying Najee Harris is on his 5th-year option. That's this season.
Okay.
I'm not pressed because he's not necessarily nice, but he ain't no game changer. He ain't no game changer. No, I'm telling you, I like him. I do. But you ain't sitting back there saying, "Oh, good God Almighty Jesus, we got to stop Najee Harris or the Steelers gonna win." No, you sitting there talking about we got to stop George Pickens. That's your conversation, Pete. We got to stop him from going on.
George Pickens stopping himself.
But regardless, you as a defensive coordinator, you're more concerned about Russell Wilson to George Pickens than you are about Najee Harris. So if I'm the Steelers, and I got that little ball of fire sitting there, right? Because they had it within them to sign Najee Harris. They deliberately didn't. Well, if old boy's sitting there, I got 2 different running backs now. I can get him, and I already got somebody. So I got the ball, I got Thunder, and I got Lightning. Lightning already there. Let me go get Thunder. I get Thunder under a rookie contract. The tailback I got now on his 2nd year. I would draft him. He would be on a rookie contract. I got money. Steelers need to do something about their offensive line for real. That would make it. And watch this. I don't give a damn what nobody's saying. We've been talking college football, but I transitioned a little bit. I'm over here as a Steelers fan. I'm a Steelers fan. I'm not resigning Russell Wilson.
You gonna get Justin Fields a shot?
Yes, and here's why. I ain't seen enough from Russell Wilson for me to pay him that kind of money that he gonna be due. See what I just said? You ain't seen enough, because if it would have been enough, the Steelers ain't lost what, 2 of their last 3 games, 3 of their last 4 games, right? 4 of their last. No. That ain't enough. That ain't enough. You let Russ walk. I like Russ. Love you, Sierra, and everything like that. You let Russ walk. You develop Justin Fields over the season. You draft, because see, Justin Fields can cover up line play. His athleticism allows you to cover up inconsistent line play. You take that money that you would have gave to Russ. Justin Fields ain't asking for that much money because he was sitting on the bench. You take that money, spend it on your offensive line. You go draft old boy out of Arizona State, because ain't nobody going to be checking for him like that. Get you another receiver to go with George Pickens. You cooking with grease. If I'm the Steelers, I'm just telling you. I'm Omar Khan. I haven't seen enough to re-sign Russell Wilson nor Najee Harris. I'm going to be cheap. I'm going to get rid of them expensive things that ain't done enough for me this year. I'm going to keep the quarterback we got in-house. I'm going to let Najee walk. He can go test it on free agency. I'm gonna go draft a boy at the draft.
Najee Harris? Oh my goodness.
Mr. Paul Martin, see, I don't have feelings involved in this, Mr. Martin. I like both of them. That's feelings. Do you know what Russell Wilson is going to cost you next season? And is what he's going to cost you, what you're going to pay him is not going to be worth it because he's not going to get you the AFC North because he had it to do it this year.
So a running back, what does a running back have to do to be considered retainable? Any running back, I mean, if a running back have 1,000-yard season, 1,000 plus, that ain't a win.
No.
Regardless of how long you had it,
that's a win. But we're talking game changers. When I look at the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm not looking at Justin Herbert. And they got some decent receivers. They do. I ain't even looking at them. No, you got to stop Saquon Barkley. Because if you don't stop Saquon Barkley, Justin Hurts finna go off, and the receivers finna go off. You better stop him. It's no different than with Lamar Jackson. Yes, you got Derrick Henry in the backfield, but you're not saying, oh, I got to stop Derrick Henry. You saying, oh, no, I got to stop Lamar Jackson. Because if I don't stop Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry finna go off, and the receivers finna go off. When you stop Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry ain't got no rushing yards. The receivers ain't got no rushing yards. Well, Najee Harris not scaring nobody. No, the running back that used to scare people for Pittsburgh was Le'Veon Bell. I'm sorry, that's what that was. You were scared of Le'Veon Bell and you were scared of Antonio Brown.
Mr. Bouncy.
Yeah, so it's not a matter of your production. You can be 1,000-yard running back. There's nothing wrong with that. Did you get your 1,000 yards at pivotal times of the game, or you just got? Because it's a 17-game season. So if you get 100 yards every game, that's 1,700. So you got 1,000 in a 17-game season. Were those impactful 1,000 yards, or you just got 1,000 yards? Because how many yards do you need to average a game to get 1,000? What did you do in the receiving game? I got questions. And any general manager that's looking at taking it to the next level, they're not looking at, okay, well, you got 1,000 yards. When did you get it? Did it mean something when you got it? Yeah, you threw for 2,000 yards. But what did your 2,000 yards do for us? Did you Quinn Ewers us? Or did you Tom Brady us? Because we're trying to win the ring. So,
okay.
When Mr. Martin asked questions like,
contribution wise,
mm-hmm.
I guess what I'm in my head, I'm thinking, but I mean, I find that when we talk football, the teams that we like,
mm-hmm.
we are always more critical
mm-hmm.
about our own teams than we are about other teams. So when it comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers,
mm-hmm.
I'm on the outside looking in.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm on the outside looking in, okay, Najee Harris have up and down games, but most of the time he's on.
Now, I'm not saying that he isn't. All I said was difference maker. Difference maker. And somebody can be on and not be a difference maker. Yeah, Najee Harris is there, but like I said, it's a 17-game season. Okay, so let's be fair. 17-game season.
And then didn't he get hurt?
No, he been fine this year. He be fine most of the time. He been fine most of the time. Now, he don't be beat up like that. He don't. So if I'm looking at it like this, right? So 17, what, 1,000 divided by 17? So to get 1,000 yards, and you tell me if you like this or not, a 17-game season, all you need to average is 59 yards a game.
And the back we're talking about is
but I'm just saying, We're saying Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is damn near at 2.
Saquon Barkley is a freak. Saquon Barkley is a mutant. Saquon Barkley is not Najee Harris, and Najee Harris definitely ain't
All I'm
Saquon
saying is,
Barkley.
Daryl, 59 yards a game. You good with that from your running back?
Yeah.
I ain't.
Okay, well, maybe you setting your standards too damn high.
Oh, I mean, hold on. I got you from Alabama. I drafted you in the first round. No, they're not too high.
Well, we talking about average. We talking about average. I mean, what are we talking about when we say 59 yards a game? Are we saying 59 yards a game is the least you can run to reach 1,000 yards? Or are we saying
you can run to get 1,000 yards a season?
At least 59? Hell yeah. You telling me Najee Harris ain't ran at least 59 yards 10 games? He got
okay, so I'm gonna say it like this. You ready?
Okay.
As a defensive coordinator, and this is why I asked questions earlier, key questions. As a defensive coordinator, I'm not game planning. I'm not afraid of the running back who can't even get you 60 yards a game. I'm not game planning for him.
Yeah,
He's
but
not a threat.
A quarterback that can, I mean, a running back that can make the defense go, oh, he got the ball. That's a factor. That's a factor.
60 yards a game. Okay, so
if nothing else, ain't that opening it up for somebody else? We got to think about that too. We ain't just saying Najee Harris finna be a minute, but if Najee Harris get on and Najee Harris get like 3-4 good runs, what's that gonna create?
I don't know, but here's what you just told me. And I just look at the numbers. 59 yards a game. That means you rushing for 14 yards a quarter.
At least 59, not 59 exactly.
No, I'm just, but when we
59
say
at least, is the very least is what we're saying.
Daryl, you're right. But we're talking about 1,000 when it comes to Najee. That's where he's at, 1,000. So he's only averaging 59 yards a game. Every quarter, that means he's only averaging 14 yards every quarter. If I break that down by how many times he's running, he's probably averaging 2-3 something yards a carry. That's not a game changer for me. Which is why he's splitting carries with old boy at the tailback position. He's not a bell cow running back. And we know what that means. Bell cow. You first, second, third, you there. I ain't bringing nobody in unless you lead a break. No, he's splitting carries, and he's splitting carries for a reason. Okay. We might not like it, but he's splitting carries for a reason.
Well, because I'm just playing devil's advocate, and I ain't got no horse in that race, I would defer to the fan logic.
You know, at the end of the day, you want as many game changers on your offense if possible. If not, you need your offensive line to be that game changer, because a great offensive line will cover up for a running back that's not that fast, not that decisive. They'll open up big holes. A great offensive line will cover up for a quarterback who's indecisive because he got a lot of time to throw the football to find open receivers. But when you don't have that offensive line, and the Steelers don't have it yet, not saying they won't, you need playmakers. You need folks to worry about. When I look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, if I'm looking at, here we go. If I'm looking at the Kansas City Chiefs, I'm a defense coordinator. Off the rip, it's two people that concern me about the Kansas City Chiefs offense. One is the quarterback.
Okay.
The other one is the tight end. And I don't give a damn how old that tight end is. He's still making it do what it do. Like, he knows some stuff that I didn't forgot. So them two. Now, I ain't saying nothing about the offensive line, because the play of the quarterback and that tight end cover up any inconsistencies that might be there with that offensive line. And your quarterback is so smart, he gonna put the running back, because you ain't necessarily got somebody playing running back that I'm concerned about. It's the fact that the quarterback is going to make sure the running back is in the best position to succeed. Not only that, I'm concerned about who you got calling plays. You got a great coach. So let me see if I got this right. You got a great coach, a great quarterback. He going to the Hall of Fame. Your coach and your quarterback going to the Hall of Fame. Your tight end going to the Hall of Fame. You see what I'm worried about over here?
Okay. So maybe I'm a little archaic and behind the times, but out of 32 teams, if only 19 of them 32 teams had a running back that ran for 1,000 yards or more, is that a testament to the ability of that running back or a lack somewhere with everybody else?
I understand the question.
Well, because I'm looking at a list here. I'm looking at a list. I got Derrick Henry. I got Aaron Jones. I got Saquon Barkley. I got Josh Jacobs. I got Tony Pollard. I got Jonathan Taylor. I got Najee Harris. I got Chuba Hubbard. Chuba freaking Hubbard for the Carolina Panthers. Bijan Robinson. Jahmyr Gibbs. Just them names, man. Them some folks who can ball.
I ain't saying that they ain't.
And Najee Harris is being mentioned in that same company. We saying I disagree. That's what I'm hearing from you. He's not the guy you need.
What I'm saying is this. And I think people get it misconstrued. Folks can I'm not disputing his production. I'm not disputing his likability. What I'm telling you is he don't scare nobody. Saquon Barkley puts fear in defensive coordinators' heart, no differently than Lamar Jackson. That's why I brought up Patrick Mahomes. They put fear. You have to game plan to stop those dudes. You're not game planning to stop Najee Harris. 14 yards every quarter. In NFL football, quarters are 15 minutes and longer than that if we take into breaks. And all you can get me is 14. You're a first-round draft pick. We ain't even talking 80 yards a game. We're literally saying, playing football, we're literally saying you as a first-round draft pick out of the University of Alabama, all you're getting me consistently, because we keep, I don't want to make it seem like that, you're averaging 1,000 yards a season. That is the bare minimum. You're only getting 14 yards every quarter. You're a first-round draft pick. You're not even getting me 80 yards. You're not even getting me 60. You're not even getting me 59 when we look at the math. It's close to 59 when we round up. You're a first-round draft pick. Nobody, when you're looking at game changers, which is why the running back market is where it is. Because all those guys that you mentioned are ballers, but we're really only talking about paying someone like Saquon Barkley. And even he had to leave the New York Giants, whether we think it was the right decision, wrong decision. They didn't want to pay him. Well, hell, the Tennessee Titans, they had Derrick Henry. They let him go. Derrick Henry, being who he was, and he's a game changer, could not get the Tennessee Titans to the Super Bowl. And I don't think Najee Harris.
Is that because of Derrick Henry or Derrick Henry surrounding cast?
I'm just telling we could argue till we say that. But what I'm saying is,
I don't think Derrick Henry shining. Tennessee.
I don't think we mentioning Najee Harris and Derrick Henry in the same breath. I can tell you Najee Harris has never been to the Steelers franchise what Derrick Henry has been to the Tennessee Titans. Derrick Henry could literally take over a game and still let him walk. Najee Harris ain't never took over a game, which is crazy because he's also a receiving threat. No, the running back that took over games for Pittsburgh as both a running back and a receiving threat, it was Le'Veon Bell. So, like I said, I'm not saying he's not good. It's not what I said.
Well, what I said, I predict that if the Steelers decide they're going to get rid of Najee Harris and whoever pick him up, I feel like he still got some miles left in him.
Oh, no, he got nobody. He got just as many miles left in him as old boy did when what's the dude that used to, I forget who you, when the Minnesota Vikings cut him, he went to go play with the Redskins. The running back, he a boxer now.
Oh, but
you know what I'm talking about. Mark, yeah, Adrian Peterson. Marcus Allen had years left in the tank when the Raiders cut him. So nobody's saying that.
Yeah, they benched him first.
Yeah, so nobody's saying that. What I'm saying is, and I can't make it any clearer, Najee Harris don't terrify you. You're not setting up the game plan. If you're looking at the Steelers right now, you're not game planning for Najee Harris. You're trying to figure out how to stop George Pickens and Russell Wilson from getting loose. I ain't making that up. The prognosticators talk.
Hey, I argue with you, dog. I ain't saying you're wrong. No, I feel like he's a little more valuable to the squad right now, especially now, than he getting credit for.
Oh, no. You're giving him the credit that he's due. What I'm looking at is the salary cap issue. They didn't extend him to this year. They did not extend him, right? So he's playing on the last year. Steelers normally don't negotiate contracts till the season is over with. Well, if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers and you're trying to become a championship team, and you go back and you reflect over this season where you fell short at, where you got some work to do. Well, the most explosive running back ain't Najee Harris. Might be the most tenured, might be the better blocking. He ain't the best runner. The other running back averages more yards per carry. Well, if you sign him, you're going to have to pay him, okay? It's not going to be cheap. It's not going to be cheap. And he can't give you a hometown discount because the NFL player union would have his head on a pike. So you're going to have this money you got to pay this dude. And when you go back to his productivity, his agent going to mention that. Well, he's averaged over 1,000 yards a season. While that ain't necessarily moving the needle with me, you need to know that's a valid point. He is averaging over 1,000 yards a season. But let's stop talking about Najee Harris and real quick bring up Kirk Cousins, because Kirk Cousins was effective when he was over there in Washington. Wasn't no game changer. He was doing what I would like to say the bare minimum, and the bare minimum got him paid. But how productive is the team he's with right now? Oh,
who's more important to a team?
The quarterback or the running back? That's what you're asking me?
But you know the answer, right?
I think it depends. On
what?
I think it depends on the person that's in charge and what they feel. If you asking me,
we talking about Kirk Cousins. You brought up Kirk Cousins.
I did, but I'm saying Kirk Cousins did the bare minimum, and because he doing the bare minimum, those Washington teams were competitive. They kept giving him franchise tag after franchise. You wasn't going to the playoffs like that. He was productive. Franchise tagging and franchise tag. Okay, well, he went over to Minnesota. You're not going to the playoffs. You ain't making it to the Super Bowl. You franchised, paying him guapa money. Where he at now? Okay, well, ain't he with the Atlanta Falcons?
He is.
Or guapa money. Kirk Cousins has never been a game changer. I get it. He came on the scene, drafted him and Robert Griffin III at the same damn time. Kirk Cousins ain't no game changer. He's productive. But I ain't signing Kirk Cousins. He don't scare no damn defense. You need to surround him with some people for him to scare damn.
Okay.
So when I look at Najee Harris, unfairly so, fairly so, bruh, you've been productive. I will never say he hasn't. All I said was he's not a game changer. Saquon, and he's not a game changer based on me hearing people talk about who they fear when they playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. Who I hear people talking about, well, the Steelers gonna struggle this week because such and such and so ain't playing, and they ain't talking about Najee Harris. They talking about either George Pickens or the other running back that's injured. And I'm looking at Najee Harris and I'm like, okay, well, yeah, you doing this, but I don't even hear the opposing team talk about you like they talk about Derrick Henry. And Derrick Henry ain't no young spring chicken. Folks still scared of Derrick Henry. Folks scared of Saquon Barkley. You're not terrified of Najee.
The Steelers are playing today.
Yeah.
Against the Bengals, which is a division game. So I expect it to be competitive.
Yeah.
Okay. Najee ain't gonna be a factor in that game.
No. See, my thing is,
but they need him to be. They need him Okay.
You have gotten more production out of your running back position consistently with whomever you got back there, because of the quarterback, because of the tight end, then we get. Now, mind you, some of that is because Ben Roethlisberger has been there. But even with Ben being back there, you're not looking at Najee Harris saying, well, Ben going to be able to have a huge game off a play action pass because the defense is worried about the running game. You're not worried about the running game with Pittsburgh. You ain't been worried about the running game with Pittsburgh for about 4 or 5 years now. You ain't. And if you ain't worried about the running game, regardless of whether the running back is averaging 1,000 yards a season or not, it's safe to say the running game ain't a key component to your team's success. It ain't. It ain't. So, no, the Bengals ain't sitting up there today worried about Najee Harris going off.
Put Kamoyo's comment up because he's asking a question.
So does a team excel because of one star player, or does it happen by committee?
Depends on the team.
Here we go. It's by committee.
Ask the Philadelphia Eagles if a team excels because of one star player.
Nope.
And arguably, Saquon Barkley is probably the standout player if we talk about singular NFL play. Stands out more than anybody this year.
Here's what you have to worry about with the Philadelphia Eagles. First, you got to respect the play action pass. That running back there, yeah, you got to be concerned if he get the football. So your first step as a linebacker, anytime Justin Hurts acts like he's handing him the ball off, yeah, you stepping forward. Okay. But when I look at the Philadelphia Eagles, they do have some people that can get loose in the secondary. You got a quarterback that ain't dumb, ain't prone to making mistakes like that, and he'll use his legs to get out of dodge if he don't trust the coverage. That's a committee.
He does have fumbleitis.
Oh, yeah, we all got flaws. My point is that Saquon elevates that team, but that team is by committee, because we saw Saquon with the New York Giants by himself. He could not elevate that team. He's able to do this.
You know what I say to you about that? I don't think he was playing his best, and I think he wanted to be traded. Because how do you go from being like that to being da-da-da-da?
Well, you would have to have been following the Philadelphia Eagles before he got there. They weren't bad. Do you know what they call the Philadelphia Eagles right now?
They weren't monsters either.
No, that's a lie. They collapsed. They had a late collapse last year. But if you look at how they started off,
I am agreeing with you.
Yeah,
I'm agreeing with you.
Do you know what they call the Philadelphia Eagles? They call that the Georgia Bulldogs of the NFL, because that's where they go get all their damn. No, the Philadelphia Eagles are loaded. They're one of those teams that's ascending no differently than the Detroit Lions. All we were missing was our bell cow at tailback. So we got somebody at tailback that can take the pressure off our quarterback, so we're not using our quarterback like a running back. Now, this opens up the whole world. We got people on the outside that can get loose. We got reliable play from our tight end. We got a solid offensive line. We got a solid offensive line. They just went to the Super Bowl. They went to the Super Bowl without a star tail. They went to the Super Bowl with Najee Harris. That's what I'm gonna say. They went to the Super Bowl with Najee Harris. So now you sit around, you got somebody with a defense is like, oh, this dude get loose, he gone. He ain't subject to go down in the open field. We gotta have all eyes on him. Well, if you got all eyes on him, who watching Jalen Hurts? Cause he ain't small. He turned the corner, he gonna run one of your DBs over. Well, okay, if you press up on Jalen Hurts to stop him from running, who checking them fools running loose in the secondary? Because all of them running sub 4.40s. Man, all right. So to Kamoyo's point, no.
Yeah, and see, and Kamoyo said exactly what that's Saquon Barkley right there. The comment, not this one, but the next one. That's what Saquon Barkley was doing with the Giants. And I argue with anybody who say different, because you don't go from being mediocre to being a freaking superhero, omega level mutant running back instantly. Not like that.
I'm gonna ask this question.
He always had that in him.
I'm gonna ask this question right here, because I don't want to have revisionist history. Saquon played at least 4 years in New York, so we say he was sandbagging all 4 years.
He was injured a lot of the time.
It's not what I asked. I said, was he sandbagging all 4 years?
Not all 4.
Okay, so I want to do away with the myth, because see, yeah, we are, how can I say it? We're old enough to be able to remember players wanting their way out of an organization. We just experienced this with the receiver.
We are
going to, so this Saquon Barkley that we're seeing right now, I don't want us to act like, because I saw this Saquon Barkley in New York. Like, I don't know what anybody else did.
I did too.
So I don't want folks to say he was sandbagging. No, he might have wanted out of New York, but we're not going to sit up here and act like New York know what they're doing. This is the same franchise we said drafted Daniel Jones. They declined to pay Saquon Barkley. Let's not act like Philip, he just asked out.
Right.
They didn't want to pay him.
They declined to pay him.
Right. So
they wasn't paying him.
Right. So let's not act like we ain't seen this Saquon Barkley play like this in New York. We've seen this. The thing is, New York, the Giants are inefficient, ignorant, stupid, don't know what they're doing as a franchise. One man is not what I say? One man is not an island unto himself. You need help. Well, he went over to an organization.
And he wasn't getting it in New York.
Right. So you go, but him not getting it in New York is not the same as saying he couldn't produce in New York. He wasn't playing like this in New York. No, it's putting it all on the franchise. So if I take this player that's phenomenal and has shown us he's phenomenal, and I put him with a better organization, he's going to be even more phenomenal. I'm gonna get more with this good organization than I got with this bad organization. That's what we're getting
happening right now.
Right. So to say that one person elevates a team or is the driving, it takes a committee. When you're when your Kansas City Chiefs are making it do what it do, especially this year. Especially this year. Y'all have been doing it by committee. Ain't nobody really been standing out.
And that's the thing, though, Theo. All teams ain't built the same. You don't have the same quality of players at every position. So where the Chiefs can be a dog on the defensive line because we got a defensive line, other teams ain't got a defensive attack like that on the line. So very much in the same way, there are defensive players that are like, because I'm on this defensive line that's mediocre, but I'm a dog, I can only play to my potential. Everybody else on the squad ain't playing up to my potential or can't play up to my potential.
So I don't want to go to, because we started this conversation talking about Najee Harris. So I don't want to go too far.
Okay.
So in regards to Najee Harris, is he a solid running back? Absolutely. I never said he was. Does he handle his business? Absolutely. But if the measure is, which was more meaningful back in the day when you and I were kids, 12-game season, 14-game season, you get 1,000 yards, means something. we're not that. It's a 17-game season. Then when you take into consideration, I may or may not be wrong on this, I'm not sure. They count the stats even as they accrue during the playoffs. Well, damn. We went from 12 to 14 to 16 to 17. I'm of the mindset we're not that far off from 20. Am I still impressed by the 1,000-yard rusher at 20 games a season? At some point in time, the bare minimum cannot be the standard. You should be able to at least get 20 yards a game. I'm gonna say 80 yards a game. That ain't even me saying 100, but that ain't 100. It's just 80. You're not even getting 60. That's 14. You're averaging 14 yards a quarter. Come on, Daryl. Games, NFL games, 3 hours long. 14 yards a quarter.
Again, you said committee. If your committee is on, that don't do nothing but open it up for that running back.
I don't. Okay, so 300-yard game. 300. When we look at NFL offenses,
you know about 300 yards total offense.
Yeah. When we looking at NFL offenses and what they're supposed to get, what we consider to be a good offense, right? You give me 60 yards a game. Okay, well, I need 240 yards passing from our quarterback, and that's that's the bare minimum.
Okay, here's the thing with the NFL though, that a lot of people don't take into consideration. The NFL, the way it's set up now, it benefits the offense. There is very little nowadays, especially when they done all this horse collar shit and all these other kind of type tackles that you can't do. Not to say that you should be able to, but when you say, oh, I'm trying to protect, if it's a 6 foot, 250-pound cat coming out of the backfield and he the same size as me as a linebacker, I need some protection too, damn it. That's a rhinoceros coming at me.
So what you think about what you're saying?
20, 30 times a game. So my point is, it's about individual achievement too. It's a team effort, but it's about individual achievement too. What's the cat's name? Christian McCaffrey is not Derrick Henry.
No, at all.
And Christian McCaffrey don't do for the 49ers what Derrick Henry does for the Baltimore Ravens. That's a whole different animal. So, I mean, if I got Christian McCaffrey, am I mad that I don't have Saquon Barkley?
No, not if you're – wait, watch this. Yes and no. What's your offense? Because I know what the Philadelphia Eagles offense run, and I know what the San Francisco 49ers run. It ain't the same offense. No, so you don't need Christian McCaffrey in Philadelphia, and you don't need Saquon in San Francisco. You don't need that. What I would say is this: they're both highly productive at what they do, though. They are. They do for their team what they need them to do. Both of them are still the bell cow running backs for their particular team.
Am I worried though about my Derrick Henry getting hurt like I'm worried about my Christian McCaffrey getting hurt?
You should be concerned both. Now, if you asking me, you should be concerned about both.
I mean, if we look at both of them players' history, which one of them players that had more injuries?
I'm answering your question. You just might not like the answer. You just might not like the answer. You're asking the business, because we got Earl Campbell sitting over here as a primary example. So I'm running the risk of my power back getting injured because of the pounding that he takes.
Okay.
So that's one concern. Okay. My receiving running back, I'm worried about him because he's going to get teed off on in the running lanes. Receivers take a pounding. So I got concerns regardless of how.
Not in today's NFL, it don't seem like.
Well, I mean, but watch this. How many teams do we see? How many teams are consistently good in the NFL? Because they don't think like that. Okay, so we got the Kansas City Chiefs. Before the Kansas City Chiefs, we had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Before them, we had the New England Patriots. I think it's safe to say 32 teams, not all 32 franchises are being ran like they're supposed to.
Okay.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
So, because like I said, I don't want to develop a rabbit trail here. 14.75 yards is what you're getting with Najee Harris every quarter. That's not acceptable to me. It might be acceptable to you. That's not acceptable to me. Yeah, it's going to get me 1,000 yards, but I know it's a 17-game season. I know it's a 17.
Like you said too, he's splitting carries with Warren.
Well, here's the thing. Why is he splitting carries? He's splitting carries because I need somebody.
That's your team, dog. You tell me.
No. I'm gonna tell you why. The only reason why you have 2 running backs as opposed to 1 is because you can't get from 1 what you should be, i.e. Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is I'm finna run the football. When the Baltimore Ravens need to bring in the receiving running back, Derrick Henry goes to the sideline. You got Najee Harris for breaking tackles, but you don't have Najee Harris breaking tackles and leaving the defense in a cloud of dust. You got that with the other running back. Well, with Saquon Barkley, you got not only a tailback that can break tackles, but run away from the defense. So that's why Najee Harris, not just Najee Harris, any running back for that matter, is splitting carries because you're not the complete package. For whatever reason. That's what the coaching staff feel. They pulling you out in certain situations because you're not the complete package. No differently than they do with tight ends who are receiving tight ends but not blocking tight ends. Mind you, that's a tell to the defense.
Okay. So when Najee Harris get traded next year,
I'm not listening. From
he go to a squad and turn into a dog.
Okay, so watch this. Has that not happened before? I saw Juju go to the Chiefs. I saw Antonio go to the Buccaneers. Hell, I saw Le'Veon go to the Jets. That's part of the process. The thing is that, and I don't think we want to look at it that Najee Harris he's on the last year of his contract. What you're telling me is that, and he's gonna hit you upside the head. We're not paying attention to that. You either gonna franchise tag him or you're gonna pay him an absorbent amount of money. You, as the Pittsburgh Steelers or any NFL franchise for that matter, you still need to shore up your offensive line. You still have questions at your quarterback position, and you don't still have an opposite to George Pickens. He's not financially worth it.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay.
Got too many. You still got to get your offensive line intact. And then watch this. Cam Hayward ain't got too many years left. If this ain't Cam's last year, he got 1 more year left. You're going to need to bring in another damn D lineman. But you got all your money over here to the running back. Man.
Okay. All right. I'm done with it. Cause he ain't the running back he need to be, and nobody gonna benefit from it.
Yeah, Kamoyo said player gets hurt enough, he starts doing just enough till he gets motivated. He's
that's what I feel like Saquon Barkley was doing with the Giants.
Well, watch this. I'm not here to say he was or he wasn't. My point of contention was this in regards to Saquon. We don't need to act like we've never seen this Saquon play football before. He could have been saying back in his last year. Notice I never said he wasn't. All I said was we've seen him play football like this before for the New York Giants. So we know he's capable of this. We don't need to act like he's not. It wasn't his fault that franchise was subpar. They drafted Daniel Jones. So it's safe to say their decision-making process at the top had a lot to do with that franchise struggling. That's all I was saying.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. I don't. So, but that said, we did start off the show today because it was your post on Facebook.
Okay. I mean, and we went a couple places, but that's what we're supposed to do. That's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, that's what we do. And you look spiffy, big dog. You look spiffy. You look spiffy. You look spiffy.
You ain't seen nothing yet. We talk about getting snazzy now. All bets is off. All bets is off. Oh, wait till the next Friday vibe. Man, I'm about to hurt him. I'm about to hurt him, bro. I'm about to hurt him. Look here, brother.
Yes, sir.
Today is my oldest's birthday, and I get to take her out to dinner.
Well, you know what? That sounds like a perfect place to stop. You said happy birthday. You said birthday?
Birthday.
Tell that young lady, the Rock With Me Nation wishes her a happy birthday. Y'all, we out. Thank y'all so much for putting up and everything. This was us talking football.
I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this. I really did. Real talk.
We can do this more often. I like, it's always a pleasure to work with you, bounce stuff off you and everything like that. And I think it opens us up to a different demographic. If you want to, big bro, we can follow college football, pro football up into the NFL draft, and then have our very own NFL draft show. Hey,
you know what I found out?
What's that?
You can do that as long as you don't display it on the screen.
Yes, absolutely.
You can sit and do the whole draft, and as long as it's this picture right here, we can be looking at the TV screen, be like, oh, look who they recruited. They recruited Quinn Ewers. Well,
let's do it. Let's make it like this. We can make this a Saturday thing. If you want to do it like that, and we can talk NFL. It could be our football show. It ain't got to be college, just pro. We just gonna talk football. We got the lovely Grand Madam. She's in here. You dropped Gauntlet D, picked it up.
I didn't mean it like that. I just like to have spirited conversations. Is all.
Yeah. Grand Madam says the Ravens beat the Browns 35-10. What is going on, Grand Madam? Big bro,
now do you know what that means for your squad?
Either we eliminated or we in 7th place. I mean, I'm a football realist.
Y'all gonna be if y'all beat the Bengals.
I'm a realist. I'm not a pessimist, and being a realist helps me stay grounded. I know there are certain struggles with our team. There's certain shortcomings. Mike Tomlin should have been the coach of the year at some point, because by and large, his teams ain't staffed like that. When he's had a team that was staffed, we saw what it looked like. A team that was staffed, had a credible offense coordinator in play. George Pickens was injured for like 3 games straight with a bad hamstring. Okay, well, he was your number one. You signed Mike Wallace, but he ain't did nothing. And as I said, you ain't got those game changers at tailback. So then it falls on Russell Wilson. Okay, well, who he throwing the ball to? So, we're gonna do a draft live.
What's his name? The tight end.
Yeah. Fryer move. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I could make a strong argument, no differently than you, that our defense is the most talented side of our team. You see what I'm saying? But the difference is you got Patrick Mahomes. We ain't got that. And I like Pat Freiermuth. That ain't Jason Kelce.
Travis Kelce. Jason is the brother that played for the Eagles.
Right. I'm sorry. What's the Travis Kelce? That ain't Travis Kelce. And I like Mike Tomlin. He tough. I like my brother. Him and Andy Reid, 2 different coaches. I'm sorry. It kind of is what it is. So, but I ain't gonna hold you up. Once again, happy birthday to that young lady. Y'all wish my brother D-Real, his daughter, a happy birthday. We will be coming to y'all tomorrow with Co-Parenting 101. I think y'all gonna like that. It's gonna be.
I'll be tuned in for that.
Hey man, I appreciate that. And we D-Real and I, we gonna come and we gonna flip it up. Sometime we gonna, well, you know what? No, we do Friday Night Vibes on his channel. We gonna do the football. So so we gonna come back with some more stuff like this. Y'all leave y'all comments, let us know what y'all think and everything. Anything y'all would like us to discuss, because according to Gronk over on Twitter, we ain't just Black Panther fans. So meantime, in between time, like, share, subscribe. My brother D-Real, thank you so much. In memory of the late, great Chadwick Boseman and Don Cornelius, we wish each and every last one of y'all love, peace, and soul. We out.